Lab Cheese. My name is Cindy and I'm your medical technologist from Cebu City, Philippines. So in today's wonderful episode of my lab life, I'm going to share with you my experience as to how did I get a job offer in the United States. Also in this video, I'm gonna share with you the ways that I tried in looking for a job, how I got my employer through direct hire, and also the requirements that you're gonna need for you to start on working your American dream. So this video is dedicated for those people who want to fulfill and achieve their American dream, and for those healthcare professionals who plan on pursuing their career. So if this video interests you, please watch it till the end, because who knows, this might help you in realizing your dream as well. How can I apply in the US? Is it possible for me to get hired by an American employer while I am here applying in the Philippines? Or is there such thing as a direct hire employee? So these are the questions that comes to my mind when I started on working my American dream. And to tell you what, it was not easy, okay? To obtain a working visa, it really needs patience and as well as hard work for you to find a potential employer. Whenever doubts come in my way, I always think of my primary reasons why I want to achieve my American dream. Number one, it is my lifelong dream. So when I was a kid, I always tell my parents that I really want to go to America because I want to witness how beautiful their country is. The second is that I just want to provide a better future, not just for myself, but for my family. In America, I will have a better salary as compared here in the Philippines. For me to further support my family, much more that I still have two siblings who are still studying, so that I could support their education, and I could support my family's expenses as well. And the third is that I want to expand my career. So I just believe that United States will help me to have more experience and more training, because medical technology is a challenging profession. So the learning doesn't just stop there by the time that you graduated from school. Let me tackle first the prerequisites for you to get started on working your American dream. One must have to complete their education, and the second is that you need to have a work experience. So I'm going to give you a little bit of my background as to how did I obtain my education and my work experience. So I conferred my bachelor's degree in medical technology at Southwestern University in May 2015. And after that, I successfully passed the board exam, the local board exam, in September of the same year. So a week after that, I was thankful because I passed the local boards. So I already have my license to practice as medical technologist. And so I decided to look for a job in order for me to start helping my family. So another blessing came. A friend of mine told me that in the laboratory that she's now working, they're still in need of another Medtech. So at that time, I submitted my application right away. And at that day, I was hired in an instant. So I got my first job in a freestanding laboratory. And that was where I got trained in hematology, clinical microscopy, and chemistry. I was so hands-on in manual techniques, since they are also into the manual procedures in the lab. And I got comfortable because, my workmates were very accommodating as well. So I thought that I'm gonna stay longer there. Until such time, another classmate told me that in the hospital that she's working, they are really in need of more medical technologists. When I heard that, so I didn't waste time and I submitted my resume to the Human Resources Department of that hospital. And sad to say, I left my job in that freestanding laboratory because I told myself that in working in a hospital, this will be my gateway in achieving my goals abroad. So at that time, I took examinations and I was interviewed by 4 people, including the chief medical technologist and the hospital administrator himself. And although that was, I was nervous, I was tense, but I kept on telling myself that I need this hospital job for me to have a working experience, because this is what US employers need. And successfully, I was hired after that. I started my hospital experience in April 2016. In my 3 years of working in the hospital, I have lots of advantages. Not mentioning that my hospital, it is a reputable institution. It is a 300 bed healthcare facility and is accredited in the UK or United Kingdom. Not only that, I was able to rotate in other departments such as in microbiology, in histopathology, and in blood bank, but I also had the chance in handling complex machines and complex tests. Okay, so I received lots of trainings in that hospital as well, and that made me, a better medtech. Let's move in the requirements that I got while working in the hospital. So I had my certification exam, which is the ASCP, or the American Society of Clinical Pathology. I also passed IELTS. This is an English proficiency exam that I need for me to proceed to visa screen. And I also have my, what do we call this, my grades converted into the American grading system by J. Silney. So to tell you guys, I'm not from a well-off family, so I need to earn first the fees before I take that exam. Okay, so the fees are no joke. It costs around 10,000 and more. So while I was working in the hospital, that's the time that I've thought of several ways for me to submit my applications. And I discovered 4 ways. So the first one is that through referral. So good for you if you have a friend or a relative who's already working in the United States, because at the time that they have job vacancies or open job positions, then maybe they will tell you to submit your application right away to the Human Resources Department. And I think it's an advantage, because if the HR knows that you know of someone who is working in the company, then they might consider your application. But unfortunately, it didn't work out for me, because although I have friends who are already there in the United States, but they cannot help me at that time because they're just new into the company, and they're not confident yet in referring another medtechs here in the Philippines. So I just understand their situation, and I went into the next way that I tried, in which I tried in applying in Middle East countries. So in this way, guys, I've heard stories that US employers prefer to hire healthcare professionals who come from other countries, such as in the Middle East. So I tried my luck in applying. I submitted online applications in countries such as in Dubai, Qatar, and Abu Dhabi. But unfortunately, I got no luck. I received no responses from them. So at that time, I told myself that maybe this is not the way that works for me. So I tried the next way, and that is seeking help from agencies. So I know of 2 agencies that can help healthcare professionals to get or find their potential employer. So the first agency is that even though you don't have all the requirements yet, but they'll be willing to assist you in complying those. It's just that after you complete all the requirements, you have to join the H-1B visa lottery for you to have your working visa. H-1B lottery system, they just grant a limited number of working visas. And yes, there are lots of applicants. So the chance for you to get picked is about 50%. So lucky for you if you will be picked first try, but if not, then you're gonna have to reapply yourself again for the next fiscal year. And for me, that entails more time in waiting, and as well as patience. Upon knowing that that was their way for you to get into the United States, I just backed out. And the second one is that you must have all the requirements for you to get prioritized. So in this agency, you have to submit all your requirements, so that by the time that a certain employer contacts the agency that they need a healthcare professionals, then you will be the first candidate to be contacted. And when you agreed to the offer of the employer, so that's the time that you will start your visa processing. So the good thing in this agency is that uh, you don't need to be in the lottery anymore, because they will look an employer who is a non-profit organization and also affiliated in an educational institution. So they are cap exam. So you don't need to join those applicants in the lottery system, because they will sponsor your working visa. But the downside of this agency, so much as I want to join, but I cannot because I don't have the money. Uh, you need a considerable amount of money for you to, avail their services. So that's just, the downside of it. So I just didn't try. Okay, and the last one, in which, as others may see it as impossible, but that's where I got my job, and that is through applying online. So yes, I applied through websites, and God only knows how many applications did I send for 3 years. So even though I was still working on my papers, I just tried my luck in passing my applications online, because I do believe that the more entries you send, the more chances to get hired by an American employer. So that's just my mindset. So there were times that I just felt discouraged, because uh, after several applications that I've sent into various websites, I just received numerous rejection letters. And those rejection letters tell me that I'm not fit for the job, I'm not the candidate that you're looking for, or they just don't sponsor uh, foreigners for a working visa. June 2019 came, and that's when I received my visa screen certificate. So at that time, I told myself that I need to devote all my time in submitting online applications, because this is the only way that I must get my employer, because I don't have relatives to petition me, and I don't have money for me to avail agencies services. So at that time, I was very diligent in filling out information fields through various websites. The websites that I frequently visit are the LinkedIn, Indeed, Monster, and Glassdoor. So these search engines were very helpful for me in looking for employment in the US, because when you just input keywords like medical technologist, there will be immediately results for medical technologist jobs that you could apply to. And by the time that you click apply now, then you will be redirected to the hospital's website, and that's where you will submit your application, attach pertinent documents that could support your eligible to practice your profession. And as well as there are some companies who will require you to answer psychological questions in order for you to complete the application. So even though that was tedious and hassle, but I just took my time in submitting my application. So fast forward, September 2019 came, and at that time I received an email coming from a hospital recruiter, and the email says that they found my application interesting and they want to set me up for an interview as soon as possible. So at that time I was so glad and I was thrilled, because I thought that finally someone noticed my application. So I replied to them and I told them that I'm willing to have the interview at as soon as time in their own convenience. The interview came smoothly, it went smoothly. The lab director just asked me questions like if I am a generalist, what are the departments that I've rotated, if I'm okay with the night shift, and the salary. So I just kept on answering okay to those questions. And I told him that I work as a generalist, so I'm not that really hands-on in the microbiology. I just know of the general procedures, but not into the specifics, because there is a specialist assigned in a microbiology. And he just told me that that's just okay, because we're gonna train you by the time that you get in here. So that's just all right. And 2 weeks after that, I received a wonderful news, and they told me that I am hired already, and they attached an offer letter stating my job description and my salary as well. So at the time, I was very thankful that at last I already found my employer. And they asked me about my credentials, since they are so willing to start with my H-1B visa petition. So that's it, Lapshies. That ends my story about how I applied and got hired by a US employer while I'm still here in the Philippines. Although it's impossible, but I've made it through God, of course. And just a piece of an advice: if there is an opportunity, you go grab it and try what works best for you. I'm not saying that you should not try agencies, because many healthcare professionals come from agencies and they are now in several parts of the world working their dream. Okay, and I also have a friend who is in Dubai, who is now on his way to United States as well. So it's about don't limit your options. You have to try what works best for you. And for those people who are continuously passing application online, don't give up. There will be times that you will get discouraged, but just keep on submitting applications, because I almost lost hope. But my reasons kept on pushing me to move forward. So I believe that hard work will be rewarded, and you too can make it as well. I think that's it, guys. If you have questions, don't hesitate to comment down in the comment section below. And also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for you to get notified of my new videos related to medical technology. Okay, so once again, this is Cindy, and I hope you're having a great day. Thank you so much. See you in the next video. Bye bye.